Hey, it's TC Talks, and this time, instead of just me talking about modern events in football, well, technically this is a modern event in football. I gotta stay current, everybody. But instead of me talking about who won today, who got traded today, whatever, we're gonna be talking about strictly my opinion. And I thought one of the fun things that we could do, especially since there's been a while since we've talked about football, is TC could go ahead and talk about his the top 5 quarterbacks since 2000 in TC's opinion. Now, this isn't going to be a list about Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, any of those guys, those fresh young talents going in their 4th, 5th years in the league, maybe 4th years in the league, I'm pretty sure. But we're not talking about those guys, all right? While I understand Patrick Mahomes has a lot of success, I realize Josh Allen's a pretty great quarterback, Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback, etc., etc. This isn't about them. They don't really have a defined legacy at this point. I want to get more into those legacy quarterbacks, those Aaron Rodgers, those Ben Roethlisbergers, Russell Wilsons, Peyton Mannings, all those kinds of guys. And basically, I just want to break down where they would fall in my list. Now, before we dive too much into that, again, 50 subscribers is what we're going for here right now on the channel. If we can get to 50 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be able to live stream the Winner Circle radio show, which includes my co-host, Tyler Farringle. You guys are going to love him. I've been trying to get him behind the mic, and I guarantee you guys are going to want to hear even more of him once he finally breaks through that barrier of us not being able to live stream and you guys not subscribing. So go ahead and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, _winnercircle_22. You could stay up to date on all of our content, plus find all of our social media links such as Anchor and Twitch. And without further ado, let's dive on to the topic. Now, when it came to me discussing this topic, it's not something I was just like, I should let people know what my top 5 quarterbacks are. Originally, I saw this video by iTalk Sports on YouTube, and it was talking about how Ben Roethlisberger may have been forced out of Pittsburgh. And I won't get too much into the details of that, but essentially, Ben Roethlisberger thought he could keep playing. Pittsburgh was like, no, we're ready to plan for the future. We're going to go ahead and end this mutual agreement here. And Ben Roethlisberger apparently pretty salty about that. But my next thought was, okay, would I really keep Ben Roethlisberger? And I was like, absolutely. If you look at him overall, he's definitely a talent that lasted throughout multiple quarterback generations, throughout multiple decades. He's definitely a great guy. But then I kind of reviewed how he was this past season, and I started to think about, what is he going to look like next year? He was already starting to look a little bit bigger. He already started to show a little bit more gray. His arm seemed a little bit weaker. I mean, and this isn't to dox the guy. This isn't to, say he's trash, but how could he perform going into next season? I really was speculative of him being able to be productive. So with that in mind, I started thinking about, who are other great quarterbacks? Because I started to think to myself, this has got to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks of the past 20 years. And I really started to think about it. And at first, I was really only bringing up 2 names that were better than him. And I was just internally thinking, no disrespect to Big Ben, but I don't think he can be even close to the 3rd best quarterback of the past 20 years. I just don't think so. I gotta look into the history banks, gotta go deeper into my mind and figure out who this guy is. Where is he gonna actually stack up? And for me, it wasn't so much looking at guys that had fantastic stats. It wasn't just guys that were able to pull out good numbers, be ridiculously crazy in the pocket or on the ground. It was somebody who is a winner, okay? So with that in mind, the obviously number 1 on my list is the most winning quarterback of all time. You guys already know who I'm talking about. As much as a lot of you are going to disagree, I have to go with Tom Brady. Now, one of the things that kind of grinds my gears just a little bit is everybody says Super Bowls don't matter, that it's a team sport, that is a team effort, and I understand that. It takes a lot more It only takes a quarterback to throw a touchdown pass on a play. It only takes a quarterback to be able to throw for over 5,000 yards in a season. It only takes a quarterback, you get my point. It takes an offensive line. It takes a wide receiver. It takes all of these other skilled players into account. So every single throw, every single touchdown then that you mention about this quarterback doesn't matter because that involved his whole team. See, what you really got to do is see, how ridiculous are we going to go down that rabbit hole? How far do we have to go before we could say that this talent, this special skill of this quarterback is what truly defines him as the best, because there is no outside influence to this specific point that I'm bringing up? I don't think that's possible. I think you could always point to, what about his parents? And then when you get into parents, what about their money, his money, their money? You don't want to be getting into these stupid niche points, in my opinion. Now, are Super Bowls the number one thing that you should be looking at when you look at a quarterback? No, absolutely not. Dan Marino proves that. Dan Marino is obviously probably easily top 10 quarterback of all time, if not close to the top 5. But he's definitely not a guy to be blinking at despite not winning a championship. That's just something that happens. Now, does that mean we disregard Super Bowls just because other guys didn't win them? No. But that doesn't mean we disregard guys that didn't win Super Bowls. It's just one thing that they didn't achieve. Does that mean that they couldn't achieve them? No. But again, it's just a point to bring up. And Tom Brady being a guy that's consistently being able to get to the biggest game, getting there 9 times, winning 7 of them, those are just ridiculous numbers. Now, I know in and of that self, that's not awesome. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think he's got a few Super Bowl rings just from being on the bench. So obviously, rings alone aren't enough. Sorry, got tongue twisted there, not warmed up for this. But anyway, Tom Brady is obviously one of the GOAT quarterbacks just due to his longevity, his winningness, his ability to find a way to come back and win, his relationship with the New England Patriots and how they were just one of the most feared teams throughout the 2000s. And that's the same notion for this next quarterback on the list, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is my number 2 quarterback. There is an argument that he could be number 1, but just given how much Tom Brady has exceeded as a quarterback, I got to give it to him. He's definitely superb. Now, Peyton Manning is definitely a coach on the field. He is literally smart enough to educate you, the defense, and still beat both of you at the same time when it comes to being the smartest person on the field. He is just that wise. He's that talented. He has all of the skills. When he was younger, a little bit more mobile, being able to extend plays, got a nice arm, but it's really his IQ that puts him above everybody else. He is somebody that knows football in and out. He knows how to read defenses. He knows exactly what to do whenever he needs to do it. I think there was only one time. I don't think there was a time, actually. Now that I think about it, I think there was only one time in the early 2000s when Peyton Manning came to Indianapolis that they had a losing record, and that's when he did not actually play. I don't think they ever had a losing season with him at quarterback. But I could be wrong. It could have actually happened one time. Let me know down in the comment section below. But that just goes to show you his level of greatness. He came into this organization and completely revamped it. And not only that, was able to do it in such little time, do it with such excellent grace, and just dominate. Now, he did have some fallbacks. He wasn't as successful as we would hope he was. Obviously, not everybody is going to be Peyton Manning or Tom Brady level in terms of winning, but you'd hope he did a little bit better in the postseason. So, for me, it's not that he did anything bad. He just had a few first-round exits. And honestly, with a guy that was as talented as he is, he didn't show up as well as you would expect him to show up for the playoffs a lot of times. But that's just my opinion. Peyton Manning, obviously one of the best to ever have done it. But let's talk about our number 3 spot. Now, this one, a little bit more of a controversial pick maybe, but I'm going to have to go with Aaron Rodgers. I've seen him dominate my Bears for the past decade, and he is just one of the best quarterbacks ever. He was Patrick Mahomes-like before Patrick Mahomes was even in college. He was tearing up teams, extending plays by scrambling, being able to run for touchdowns, being able to chuck long balls. I just remember that one play against the Bears. Looks like he should have been sacked 6 or 7 times. Is able to slip in and out of tackles, and then finally just throw up a lucky pass to, I think it was Devontae Adams, and Adams comes down with a touchdown catch to seal it. That is just what sums up Aaron Rodgers to me. Somebody who's always able to get out of the pocket, always able to get that next available opening if he so needs it. Now, postseason Aaron Rodgers, not always doing that. That's why he finds himself at the number 3 spot. Similar to Peyton Manning, he kind of struggled in the postseason, and it kind of showed a little bit more as he got older. I'm very questionable if we're going to see another Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl. I highly doubt it at this point, but hey, anything can happen. But overall, Aaron Rodgers, great regular season quarterback, does have a Super Bowl regular season MVP, and is a great leader for the Packers team, but overall not going to be at the top of the list just because of his inability to win in the postseason. Now, I know you could say a lot about his receivers, his offensive line, the coaching, whatever, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of times, especially in this past divisional round against the 49ers, there were a lot of times where there was an open man. He could have had an easy first down or potential for a first down. He's looking for the long ball. He's looking to be the hero. And I understand when you're on a subpar team like that, you want to be able to pick up those big yards. You want to be able to strike fast, but you got to be able to pick up those first downs, keep that offense on the field, keep that defense rested. That's something that he just was not able to do, and that's what ultimately ended up costing him the game, especially when the defense held on their own, kept 49ers to a low-scoring game, not able to get it done, though, on offense from Aaron Rodgers. And that just sums him up. Now, number 4 guy only won 1 Super Bowl, but he is a guy that is definitely one of the best quarterbacks of all time, easily top 10, and that is going to be Drew Brees, bringing the first ever Super Bowl to Louisiana down there in New Orleans, but also just having ridiculous seasons, 5,000-yard seasons, ridiculous stuff that he did down there. Overall, just blew away the competition. Every year that he was down there under center, you knew that the Saints were going to be competitors, and it just goes to show you the second that he leaves, Saints don't even make the playoffs. Saints look like one of the worst teams in football, able to scrape a few wins out of there and kind of come a little bit closer to 500, but not a great look from that organization overall. Hopefully they'll be able to rebound, but Drew Brees, just one of those guys, heart and soul of his team, a leader among men, just an overall class act, and just fantastic. Not always able to get it done. Fell short a few times. Not as many Super Bowl appearances as the previous 2. Not as flashy as Rodgers either, but still a great quarterback nonetheless. Now, I want you guys to know, okay? Now, guys, I don't want you to think that Big Ben is in my top 5, because he's not. But the guy that is in my top 5, you might have more problems with, okay? And I want you, don't be mad. Okay? Don't be mad. Just listen to why I put him here, and you could talk to me all you want in the comment section later. But my number 5 quarterback has got to be Eli Manning. Now, hear me out. He's got 2 Super Bowls, all right? Just as many as his brother. He's not as flashy as Peyton or as Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees. I'll give you that. And perhaps he's not as good of a quarterback as some of the other guys on this list. But there's one thing that Eli Manning had to do that Ben Roethlisberger never had to do, that Peyton Manning had to do only a number of times, and that is beat Tom Brady for the Super Bowl. Now, that might seem like an easy task, but ask the majority of teams that faced That was a possum back there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there was definitely a possum that just walked past. But anyway, Eli Manning had to beat Tom Brady to win 2 Super Bowls. Now, you might say that's not a big deal. I say that's the biggest deal of them all. Tom Brady is the guy that walked away with most Super Bowls he ever went to. And in fact, Eli Manning broke up the perfect season that never was just because he was that badass. Yes, I said ask. Got to keep it available for those kids, you know. Ask is the new ask. So get with it, kids. But Eli Manning, not the most flashy quarterback, not a highlight reel machine, but still able to do so much in New York, able to get so much out of that Giants organization. You got to give him that credit. And honestly, I want to see somebody name somebody better. Honestly, like, who are you going to say? Matt Ryan? What did Matt Ryan do? Blow a giant lead in the Super Bowl and go on to lose? Yeah, let me give that guy the credit. When he's on the offense, he couldn't even go out there and put out another touchdown just so they wouldn't lose. What is he doing out there? You want me to say that guy, that stat patter, or what about Matthew Stafford? Is that what we're going to say now just because in 2021 he goes out there, changes teams that are looking for a gunsling, arm-slinging quarterback like him and he wins a championship? You want me to say he's the best? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He doesn't even come close. Because the next guy is Ben Roethlisberger. Why? Longevity in the amount of championships he has, okay? I'm sick of you guys going on and on about how Matthew Stafford's the best. No, he is not. I am sick and tired of it. Matthew Stafford is just a gunslinging quarterback, and that's all he ever was until he went onto a team that had everything except for a decent quarterback. Heck, Jared Goff almost got the job done, and look at how great he's doing in Detroit right now. So don't give me this, he's the best, he's a great. No, he is a decent quarterback. He's a great regular season quarterback. He finally was able to get the job done in the postseason, but I don't want to hear it. He's not a god, he's not a GOAT, he's not number 1, he's not top 5, he's maybe top 10. Maybe. All right, I don't want to hear it anymore. Ben Roethlisberger, number 6. Why? Like I said, multiple championships, longevity. Dude just retired right now. I was like 6 years old when I saw this man win his first Super Bowl. So I don't even know what to say to that. All right, this man, if he was playing, he got you to the postseason up there in Pittsburgh. If he was playing, he had a fighting chance every game, every down, whatever. This guy was a competitor. He was a leader of his team. Fantastic. And honestly, all y'all in Pittsburgh better feel ashamed for the way that Big Ben had to leave. So that's just me. And then finally, just to cap it off, just so we don't end with Big Ben and all that jazz, got to give it to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, been to multiple Super Bowls, not the best quarterback, but his IQ for the game has gone up ever since he came into the league exponentially. I mean, yeah, he hasn't won a championship since he was younger. We could see that change right now with the Denver Broncos, so look out for that. Russell Wilson is definitely a great quarterback, definitely has getaway speed, definitely has the ability to extend plays, and definitely has a great deep ball. So much appreciation for Russell Wilson. Shout out to all these guys on this list. Let me know where you guys disagree down in the comment section below. Let me know if I got any of these guys right or if I just perhaps got them a little bit out of order. This has been TC with another episode of TC Talks. Please go follow us on Instagram, _winnercircle_22. Give us that subscription so we can bring you the Winner Circle live. Until next time, see you later.